Welcome back to the Shoeless Shows podcast, and the podcast heard around the world. We're back and 2 days away from the eve of Super Bowl Sunday, with the biggest game of the entire football year. Brandon Garcia, if you're listening to this, it's Sunday,
I was going to say the same
not
thing.
Thursdays. This guy thought a Super Bowl was going to be on a weekday.
And no one had talked about it prior. So, Brandon, if you're listening, thank you for listening. But
working during the game, like Elfrid Payton. But yeah, and a quarter of the way through the NBA season. So obviously, things are shaking up in the sports world and the two main sports that we cover on this podcast, because those are the two sports that you 11 guys love. So thanks for tuning in. Mike.
Before we get into topics, we just got to plug the social media real quick. Obviously, it's right here, as it always is. So on Instagram and Twitter at Shoeless Joe's Pod. So go give that a follow. Obi had a great idea. So we're going to be dropping polls this week on the social media to see what you guys want to hear, what you guys are thinking, so we can give you guys quality content. So that's going to be coming soon. But of course, Obi already pointed out the bell, subscribe, comment down below, like the video if you like the video.
And if you don't like the video, like the video.
Yeah, so do it.
Who hits the dislike button? You're a weirdo. Hey, from all three of us, you're a weirdo if you hit a dislike button on a video.
I agree. Group think is doing a job today.
Yeah, weirdo. And you better hit that subscribe.
Come over here, man. All right, so then on that note, we can get into the topics. We have a great show. Of course, we got to talk Super Bowl, right? So we're going to talk Super Bowl. We got legacies to talk about for winners or losers, right? So in either scenario. And then we're going to go into the Goff trade, the Goff for Stafford trade. We got to talk about the latest drama in the Watson Texans whole dilemma. And then we're going to go around and check out all the QB situations around the NFL, the ones with openings, talk about that QB carousel real quick. And then for the NBA, we're going to talk All-Star game coming up. The votes came out today, so we're going to analyze those, see if they're right, see if they're wrong, who's missing, who we think deserves to be there. And then just check in on the rookies real quick. We're about a quarter way into the season, so see how the rookies are doing across the NBA. But without further ado, we can get right into it. Super Bowl this Sunday. I'm excited. What are you guys doing for the Super Bowl?
I mean, I'm probably gonna go to my girlfriend's house. Probably.
It's a test.
Shout out Taylor on the podcast. It's a test.
Yeah. Just make sure none of you guys are going to parties or nothing, man. Because we can't have that on the Shoeless Joes.
Well, if we're doing it remote, does it really matter?
Yeah, I mean, me and Kerwin just gonna have some wings.
And catch it over the airwaves. Wine and wings. Wine and wings.
Wine and wings with Kerwin.
But that'll be my Super Bowl. But yeah, this is a big game. I'm excited.
For both parties.
And I was watching Pat McAfee show, and he said he doesn't really know which way this game is going to go, because at the same time the Chiefs, and at the other end it's Tom Brady, and you never can really bet against Brady. So the spread is about 3 points. What are your initial thoughts going into this game, and what are your keys, do you think, for both teams?
I'll definitely be betting against Brady for sure. I think
based on football belief.
Based on everything that I've seen from that Kansas City team. Based on everything I've seen from the entire Kansas City team. But no, the keys I think it's really just all on the Bucs. I think Tom Brady's going to be playing at his highest and try and deliver. I don't think Antonio Brown is going to be suited up for the Super Bowl. So that might be big against them. No, I don't think he's going to make the Super Bowl. I think he said no. They're going to have Godwin, yeah. And I think that would have been big, just to have a threat like that. Yeah. And Mike Evans, but
I'm so dead ass.
They got to be careful. That'll be scary. That'll be scary for Tom Brady to not be able to execute. If he's got reliable guys. That's kind of why they brought Gronk in. So I think if the game is tight, it's going to come down to Gronk, and Tyrann Mathieu might be having to make some big plays on that.
No, I'm excited. I mean, the thing is with the Chiefs is that all year, they've kind of just made the plays when they need to make the plays. And even last year when they won the Super Bowl, they were in a similar position. So to see if they do that again, to see if they put themselves in that hole, because I feel like if they do against Brady, it could be a mistake. But at the same time, we've seen Brady give other teams opportunities. Like in that Green Bay game, he even like chances when they could have put the game away and they had great start field position, he would turn the ball over and give them a second chance. So it's really interesting. That defense always makes plays when they need it the most. But I mean, Super Bowl can go either way. Like these, it's also possible that this becomes like a defensive battle just because of like how well these teams are game planning for one another. But at the same time, like I would love as a fan just to see a shootout and to see who just takes the opportunity and seizes the moment. What about you, Obi?
Yeah, the way I see it, it's gonna be that Chiefs secondary versus the Bucks like front four, or if they're gonna get any pressure to Mahomes in general. Uh, I don't think it's gonna be a shootout personally, but I mean, you never know. I don't think Brady still got that. No, let me chill. Let me chill.
I mean, his depot hasn't looked great. They did get lucky going against what's that kid from Green Bay, the King kid, who's getting lit up the whole game.
Desmond King.
They were running every play at Desmond King, bro. He was getting lit up.
Me and my roommate went on his Instagram while this was going on, and they was lighting him up, bro.
Relentless. I mean, a big key to that game too is going to be like if Tampa Bay can run the ball effectively, because that's probably the weakest part of this Chiefs defense. We know that they can get pressure on the quarterback, but stopping the run might be a little bit of a weakness. So if they can get Fournette going, I mean, it could really open up a lot of things for Brady, especially because you know that like Tyrann Mathieu and company are going to be sitting on like those kind of crossing routes, those deeper routes, and trying to create turnovers and trying to create havoc. So if they can establish the run, it really opens up a lot for Brady.
I'm sure that has to be part of the game plan regardless, because, I mean, every team has to run the ball against Kansas City, because the longer you can keep the offense off the field, it'd be better, the better chance you have of winning the game or keeping the game close.
No, that's definitely true. And so before we get into our predictions, we got to talk a little bit about the legacy factor for both parties involved. There's been debate in recent weeks that have been going on about Brady over Belichick, or vice versa, or Belichick not being a good coach, or a mediocre coach, or an overrated coach. And I feel like a lot of that stuff is a little bit soon for that kind of nonsense that I will not allow on this podcast. However, I don't know, has the last couple of weeks already changed your view of Brady, and where does he go with a win, in your opinion?
Yeah, 100%. Like it has to change your view on Brady. Like he pretty much took that whole Patriots team that we see now isn't really as talented as it is, and he still was able to find a way to drag them to the Super Bowl. I feel like the Belichick Brady conversation, I feel like I think it's definitely put the rest. Like we definitely know, like Brady elevated that squad. Belichick might need to work on his GM skills. Yeah, I think that debate is put to rest. I don't think it's much of an argument.
I don't know. All right, I don't know what the debate is per se, if people will start to change it up. But if we're saying that Belichick is not a good coach or an overrated coach, and I think that's completely out of whack, because I think a lot of the Super Bowls that Tom Brady did win, he was saved by the defense. And then when the offense did go crazy, they couldn't like get the defense together with like against Philly. They just outscored them, and Tom Brady like broke the record for passing yards in the Super Bowl against Philadelphia, and that's crazy. But I think it's too soon to judge Belichick as overrated. I think Cam Newton didn't really have a good year, and it was a new system, and that team wasn't that talented really. So yeah, that was rough on them. But I mean, I don't think Brady should get zero credit though. Obviously, Brady proved a lot this year in showing that he is, a superstar. He is a Hall of Famer, and arguably, if he wins the Super Bowl, if we're going to talk legacy, if he wins the Super Bowl, he's the greatest quarterback that ever lived, for sure. Like cemented. Like there's zero debate. He already is, but
yeah,
this puts all of that to rest. But yeah, I don't know if Belichick, but I think for Mahomes, if Mahomes wins the Super Bowl, it 100% jumpstarts the legacy of the next greatest quarterback who ever lived. For
Bro,
sure,
at that point, he has more rings than Aaron Rodgers,
and
he wins. Andrew Brees.
Yeah.
Fair.
I mean, I think the debate is interesting just because, like, I think it's like very complicated to break down in a few ways. Just because, like, I don't think like necessarily to make the assumption off this season is necessarily fair for Belichick, just because like we saw how talent depleted that roster was, which I guess you could say ties into his like GM skills, but that doesn't matter. Like he's coaching who he has on the roster, so maybe that has to do with like how that team looks and is perceived. And from like the Brady perspective, I mean, everyone knew how good Brady was, but I think like what a lot of people are talking about now is like the culture and gravity that he carries, like in terms of like accountability and making sure everyone is like prepared. Like Pat McAfee was talking about it, like the whole idea that like coaches watch film more attentively and harder because they know that Brady's like breaking down every single thing and they need to be prepared to like meet with him and talk about it. And like those kind of things and expectations that he puts on people. Like the story that Levante David told, and like I saw it on Bleacher
About the
Report.
crying.
Yeah, he's like, stop crying.
yeah.
We didn't do nothing yet. Like that kind of mentality like rubs off on the team. And I'm sure that Belichick mirrors that, embodies that same like mentality, which is why like it worked so well for them because they both kind of had that mentality. So I mean, I think it's definitely too soon to tell. And I mean, me and Obi joked about it like off pod, like if maybe Belichick should like duck the smoke and just hang it up, or like if he should like try, like, because the thing is like with that team, like I don't think anything he can do in the next couple of years will, like, obviously Brady's great and he's great in his own right too, but I don't think there's anything he can do with the roster wise to make that team competitive enough so he can prove that he's the coach. Like he's
soon.
So it's gonna take a while.
So I don't know if he wants like to do that. Like they said, I remember at the beginning of the season, Colin Cowherd was like, "Oh, Belichick's making Subway commercials. Like he don't care anymore." It's kind of funny. Maybe that's true, I guess. But I mean, you started the conversation today about like Mahomes. People are already saying if he wins this one, he's already like he's already getting like himself into like the top 5 conversation already. I mean, I feel like that's
you
kind
can't
of
say that. Yeah, I don't think you can say that soon.
And you know what's crazy?
Disrespectful.
Like that half a bill doesn't look so bad anymore, man. Oh my goodness! Like,
I don't think it was. Honestly, I don't think it was bad to begin with. I think we all saw, like, we knew what he was. We knew he is who we thought he was, and they didn't let him off the hook. They put him on the hook, but yeah, that money is honestly well deserved because if you think back to it, the first year they let him start when they were in the playoffs, the reason they didn't make it, he should have gone to the Super Bowl 3 years in a row.
Right.
They lost the AFC Championship because of an offside call. The offsides call too on Ford, right? D Ford.
Was it D Ford?
Oh, Chris Jones.
True.
I think it was. It was on alignment. It was on alignment though, and then Brady threw the pick, and then they called the offsides. It was against Tom Brady too in that game. Then they ended up winning though. But yeah, he's like, and the way the offense is built around him, like what they did to Houston last year, unheard of. Their offense is, for that offense to be that explosive, they're dangerous no matter what the score is.
Right.
And Andy Reid there, oh my Lord.
So here's my question for you guys. Like, okay, so obviously, like they say, like if he wins this, right, and he's already in that conversation because like they're projecting that he continues to put up like the regular season numbers and stuff that he's put up so far,
and doesn't get hit.
Right. Right. But I don't think you can put him in that conversation yet because that's just disrespectful to like Elway and Marino and all those greats, because like you have to reach that point before you can, like, you have to put up the numbers that they did before you can be put ahead of them. But like, so if he continues to put up like these kind of statistics regular season wise, how many rings does he have to win? Does he have to pass Brady? Does he have to pass Brady in like touchdowns and yards, and then he could have like 4 or 5 rings and then it's enough? Like what is the marker for you?
I would say the marker for me personally would probably be like 4, because it's the same thing like before Mahomes stepped on the scene. Like we all knew Aaron Rodgers was more talented than Brady. He just had the squad, the coach, and everything. Like this guy, bro.
The coach.
We're not gonna see a talent like this ever again, man. Never gonna see a talent like this.
I mean, but you don't know that because people said that about Aaron Rodgers, and then this kid came from Texas Tech and can throw the ball wherever he wants, whenever he wants. And then Mike's BYU kid. What's the BYU kid?
Oh, Zach Wilson.
They're calling Zach Wilson the Mormon Mahomes. To do that,
you said Mike's
name already. Yeah.
Mike's quarterback. Oh, that's not even fair because I didn't make my big board yet. So I don't know why you're trying to expose me like that.
All right, Todd McShay.
I'll make sure.
But yeah, like I think if the numbers are astronomical, I don't think he has to win as much.
Yeah, but when have we ever said the GOAT, like the conversation
Breaks the
this
record.
early into somebody this career? Like you can't, like if you say that
Never.
now, and then what if he doesn't? Like what if I hope he wins as a fan. I hope he becomes the greatest of all time. But I like what if he does? Like what if he wins? Like let's say he wins on Sunday, and then like does like a Rodgers? Like does that change things? Like I don't like it's like it's so early to have that conversation though. I don't know.
Is it early to have that conversation? Because what? It's back-to-back years. Rodgers failed in the NFC Championship. You know, like I mean, it's not like Rodgers doesn't have ways to go. Like it's definitely going to be a way better path in the NFC for him to get another shot at it at the NFC Championship. Now that like I don't really see like quarterbacks in his tier at that age limit. Like the only person in the NFC right now with the same amount of talent as Aaron Rodgers is Russell Wilson, and we all know Seattle's kind of a mess right now.
No, but I'm saying like it's so hard to project like the future to be saying that so early. I feel like it just like assuming that. I mean, like I guess yeah, it's hard to like
him warranting this conversation though says a lot. You know, this soon. I just like we haven't seen anything like him. It's like when it's probably like the same effect like Wilt Chamberlain had when he came into a league where the tallest guy was like 6'3", and then he's 7'1" and can jump over people. They're like, oh, this is never gonna happen again. This guy is an anomaly. And the way Patrick Mahomes, like his arm talent, like in the first couple of years, this is what his third year, his fourth year. This is fourth year, his third year starting. In the first couple of years, I'm talking about like it's years ago. It's his fourth year, right?
Yeah,
it is his fourth year.
Their third year he started. He could have made the Super Bowl 3 years in a row. If he'd have done that, you could hang it up. I think they let you retire in like NFL my career mode.
Come on, just threw it.
Thank you again, Zoom, for that gift. That was very gracious of you.
Yeah, we love Zoom. Shout out Zoom.
You guys saw that beam of sweat coming down my face
on my 15th email. But all right, before we get off this topic of the Super Bowl, of course, we must pick our winners. So,
wow,
who wants to kick it off? Who wants to take the pressure?
Nah,
pressure.
All right, I'll go for it.
Oh, dang! Go ahead. Go ahead. Now, you want to step up? You want to step up to the plate?
All right, I'll go for it. Hopefully, I don't strike you. Let's go. I'm gonna go with
a score too. Are you giving a score?
Oh, we can go score. Let's go score.
I gave Nello a score, so I feel like we gotta go. Score.
Put me on the spot, but I'll go score. All right. Based on last year's game, I think obviously Tampa Bay has a good defense, but not as good as San Francisco was last year. I'm gonna go with Kansas City. I think that they cover the spread. I'm gonna go 30-24. Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes gets his second ring. Brady has a great season. Wasn't there just yet for Brady down there in Tampa Bay, but I'm gonna go with my boy Patrick Mahomes. 30-24. Kansas City wins the Super Bowl.
Okay, I can go with that. 30-24. All right, I'm gonna go. I'm also going to take Kansas City, and I'm going to say, 28-14. I think they hold Brady. I think Brady scores the first 2 touchdowns in the first half, and the game is tied going into the second half, and then they don't score again.
You don't want to
slow down in the second half. No. I don't think they move. I don't think they move the rock at all because I think they do stop the run, and I don't think they can get the running game like working. So I don't think they'll be able to tread unless they try and throw the ball. And then in the second half, Brady's not going to have it. I don't care how clutch he is. I don't care. It's not going to have it.
Right. Well, looks like we're going groupthink here. I'm also thinking the Chiefs. Mike, I sent you a text.
I gave it a look.
The conversation I had with my little sister about the score, I had decided before the show. Wanna tell them what the score was?
Well, all right. So basically, you're gonna keep what you're gonna do here is you're gonna keep the Tampa Bay score the same, and you're gonna add a 1 to the score of the Kansas City Chiefs. 31-24 is what Obi predicts.
Thank you.
So there you have it. The Chiefs will lose.
I like your thinking there.
I'm saying
Chiefs will
you
hopefully win.
got a nice balance of offense and defense in there. 31 or 30-24. But we all have the Chiefs.
Actually, I'm going to change. I'm going to take Tampa Bay just to be different.
Patrick Mahomes, Super Bowl MVP. No Damian Williams this year.
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes, Super Bowl MVP.
Travis Kelce, Super Bowl MVP.
All right. So that wraps up our Super Bowl coverage. We'll be back next week.
Are you being serious?
What, with Travis Kelce?
Yeah.
No, it's impossible because who's throwing him the ball? As many touchdowns as he has, they also go to Patrick Mahomes. So I don't think it'll work for him.
All right. So we'll be back next week. Oh, you got it. What you got?
I was gonna say, like, I feel like all the only people who probably go into MVP is like, or other than Ray Lewis, it would be probably like a DN, a DB, or the quarterback. Unless the running back somehow does it. Oh yeah, Damian Williams. But that's about it. That's all I have to say.
I mean,
or Lev Bell. What if Lev Bell makes it now?
Yeah, nah.
No,
Le'Veon. All right, so obviously we'll be back next week to see if we were right. You guys should tune into that one next week. We're pre-promoting. We're pre-promoting. We're gonna have a segment about our favorite Super Bowl commercials. So you guys better have yours too, because I want to hear them.
You better watch that Super Bowl, Brandon. It's on Sunday. Starts at 7:30.
Oh, by the way, shout out Rob Estevez, because I know he'll give us a funny Super Bowl commercial when we
a quality one, and he'll put it in the comments. I trust Rob. So we talked about legacies of those two.
Oh, daddy.
We're gonna talk about two quarterbacks in a trade who might not be as good as the quarterbacks we just mentioned, but they're still very important to the NFL. So a big trade went down about a few days ago. We're talking about Goff for Stafford.
Jared first name. Matthew, the other first name.
two first-round picks going back to Detroit somehow. So that trade kind of caught everybody by storm with that compensation. I think we're all in kind of agreement on this pod that Matt Stafford is a very talented, very good quarterback in this league, and to see what he's going to do with Sean McVay.
Matt Benavides, you hearing that? Matt Stafford is very talented, known around the league. You idiot.
If he doesn't,
idiot.
Oh,
why you call him that?
Honestly, if you don't think Matt Stafford's good, you are an idiot.
So see what he does with Sean McVay. But who do you think is there a winner in this trade? Do both teams win this trade? What do you think of the draft compensation that was given up by the Rams? Or what was your just thoughts on the entire trade itself?
I think it's large. I think it's big for the Rams. I think this is their Rams push. They were just in the Super Bowl 2 years ago. And they couldn't put up any points in the Super Bowl. They were held to 3 points in the Super Bowl. So Matt Stafford is obviously explosive. Obviously, one of the QBs who, uplifts his team. These guys, Detroit hasn't had a good team for years. Barry Sanders was forced to retire under the Detroit Lions because they wouldn't build a team around him to get him deep into the playoffs to a Super Bowl.
Megatron.
Yeah, Calvin Johnson forced to retire. Two of probably the greatest players.
People later birthday, Isaiah.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, we didn't have to bring that up on the podcast.
On the podcast.
Happy birthday, Lawrence Taylor, the greatest football player of all time. But I just think this is what puts the Rams over the edge, because even this year they didn't have Jared Goff there in the end. So, I think. I mean, Detroit with the draft cap, with the draft picks that they got plus Jared Goff. I don't think Jared Goff's a scrub, but I don't think they have the team there right now. Especially, I think Kenny Golladay and Marvin Jones Jr. are both free agents who are definitely on the move. Who definitely do not want to be.
TS.
All right, we're not even talking about them yet.
I apologize.
I'll save that for later.
But back to the Belichick thing, though. Matt Stafford did say he wanted to go anywhere but New England, which is weird. So
is it weird?
I guess that no, it's not weird.
Bro, yeah, why would he go from the
Jarius Bird is nice, bro.
But I think it's also like the expectations too. Like,
brother,
like
this guy stinks.
You what? I forget that. In Stafford's case, like if you get a talented quarterback in there, like all of a sudden, like in you're paired with Belichick, all the pressure is on your shoulders to like be like the 2.0, and like that's just not reasonable, especially with the lack of talent on that team. But I mean, if you're Detroit, like you got 2 first rounders for Stafford. I mean, you kind of have to eat his Goss contract, which is like it's not small by any means, but I mean, he's also not a bad it's not a bad swap considering the compensation you're receiving, especially for a team that isn't that bad. Like I think everyone's impression is that like what's been holding them back the last couple of years is coaching, like blowing games at the end of like
For sure.
blowing close games. So now they have Motor City Dan Campbell and his fiery pre-game speeches. So it's gonna be interesting to see how they do that there.
Cousin like a sailor. Like a sailor, bro.
That was a great press conference. Yeah, so on that note, I mean, that kind of just addresses that trade. But now we're going to get to the rest of the QB moves left to be made, because we knew that the Stafford domino was going to be one of the earlier ones to fall. But now we're looking at it, and there's about 8 teams that we have written down in our pre-show meeting about trying to figure out what they do with the quarterback position. I mean, a lot of what they do impacts the other teams on this list. So I'm just going to quickly read you guys off the QBs who have openings or might make a move in the QB market this offseason. So we have the Washington football team, the New York Jets, I was going to say Oakland, the Las Vegas Raiders and John Gruden, the Indianapolis Colts, the Chicago Bears, shout out Flat Fruit,
Bears,
San Francisco, the Philadelphia Eagles, New England, and of course, the Houston Texans.
So we're losing J.J. Watt as well.
So first of all, did you guys hear about this possible Andrew Luck coming back?
Yeah.
That's crazy. That shit got leaked, bro. Nah, he's coming back.
You think he's coming back?
Bro, we might as well take the Colts off action, man. He's coming back. I'm telling you,
You
bro.
think so?
Bro, there's no way you can walk away from the game that young, and you've been around it your whole life.
He did it. I said, and he walked out without any equipment on and with a t-shirt, and got, dude, and that was insane.
Wait, if he comes back, like, is he a free agent or he's automatically on the Colts?
No, I think like
the contract still goes. That's what happened with Gronk.
Yeah, like they have your retirement rights, I think.
Yeah.
So, okay, but if it wasn't Andrew Luck, who do you think ends up in Indy? There's been talks about Carson Wentz reuniting with Frank Wright. There's talks that he still wants out of Philly. What do you think they end up doing? It's a tough question, but
yeah, no, that's a tough one. I feel like if it's not Carson, maybe Garoppolo. Maybe they try and go get Garoppolo.
I think if it's not Carson Wentz, if that's their number one guy, I don't think they go too far down the list before they just move on to Jacoby Brissett. Like, I don't think they don't like him to actually pursue anyone else. Any other free agents or QBs who might be on a move and make a trade like that. Because
they're in a position where, like, if they get like Carson Wentz and they can align him with like Wright again, and he gets back to his form, like
with that defense,
they have a roster that can be the second best team in the AFC, like pretty easily. So that's a very interesting one. Okay, so we talk about the Colts, Washington football team. There's been rumors that they are willing to give up a first-round pick to go get a quarterback. They are. I assume that they're not. Even though that one game of Heineke, I assume that you can't go into the season with him as your guy.
I'm sure he's back in school.
Right. So, there's rumors that they'll give up a first for a quarterback. People have been saying Sam Darnold a lot to go there if the Jets don't use him in a Watson deal or another deal to move him and then get draft capital back. I could see it. I could see that happening. What do you think that Washington goes?
I've had so my theory is I feel like Tua failed his assessment this season, and Washington could use that first round pick and go get him. I've been thinking that for a while. I meant to talk to you about this the other day and I forgot, but I could see them flipping that and using their first round pick to go get Fields, and then using the pick they acquire from it would be the Redskins and going to get a receiver and maybe Waddle.
Oh, because they have that. Yeah, they have that.
Yeah.
The 6th pick?
Fourth
pick.
Is it 6?
Yeah, wow.
Somewhere in that range, yeah.
That could definitely be interesting. Zay, what about you? I haven't heard that one yet.
No, that is big. I don't know. I don't know what the football team really wants. I saw like I don't know. There's pages that really like put out silly things with like just trying to trade whoever they see on the roster and not like who's off the market. Like I saw somebody put up Chase Young for Deshaun Watson, and like I was like, I was like, why are you even allowed to post this? Like who greenlighted you to like put that out with Chase Young on there? Like they didn't make any sense. It was like a bunch of picks and then Chase Young, and I was like, they're not doing it, so you're wrong. So
Delete
this
the
one
post.
this one's off. But yeah, I just hope it isn't anyone good, because I need the NFC championship next year. I don't want like it.
You better hope they don't trade for Sam then.
Ridiculous. Yeah, I hope they do trade for Sam. You see more Sam versus Daniel Jones.
Oh, that'd be great on the timeline. San Francisco. I mean, I personally think that at the end of the day, if it's not Watson, they're just gonna stay with Jimmy G, because I don't think I don't know what other move that they could make to really upgrade. I don't think they're in like a win now kind of team. So like I don't see them trying to make a move for drafting a quarterback. So I think it's Jimmy G or Deshaun Watson. I don't know if you guys agree with that sentiment or not.
No, I agree with you, especially now with the news with the Falcons just deciding to stick with Matt Ryan and Julio. Even though I think they should just reset. Like Matt Ryan would have made more sense for the 49ers, but I mean if he's not on the market, then yeah, it's either Garoppolo or you try and go get Watson.
Which that's kind of the thing for every team, honestly, because
Watson.
Watson's the number one guy on the market right now. Obviously, with him not being there, and he just led the league in passing yards. And I think I said on the podcast before, the people at Clemson called him a Michael Jordan type athlete, which is the highest possible compliment, I think.
Yeah. Now the thing is like with San Francisco is like he might not be great, but when he plays, they win. So it's kind of like one of those things. If it's not broke, don't fix it. Especially if you're gonna upgrade to Deshaun Watson, that's a no-brainer. But to make another lateral move might not be.
Could be detrimental.
But my thing is with all about like news coming out about them looking for a new QB and stuff, doesn't that kind of ruin the relationship between him and the organization? So,
I mean, I feel like if they're like, but I feel like that's the thing with like any like team. Like I just feel like if they know that they're like believe in Jimmy G, like then they're like him and Shanahan are probably in communication throughout the offseason trying to. I don't know. I mean, it could definitely be a factor though. But I mean, it's not like he doesn't control his fate anyway, and I feel like he'd probably be content in remaining in that situation. So then we covered them. So now we can go to a team that people didn't really think were going to be in the quarterback conversation, the Las Vegas Raiders, but now it's coming out that they're willing to move off of Derek Carr, and now it's brings in another team who we already knew had quarterback issues, the Chicago Bears, who are interested in acquiring him. So for Chicago, I can see like you do need an upgrade because that defense is too good to be wasting away the offensive side of the ball. Wasting away an offensive mind like Matt Nagy. So if that were to go down, how do you think that fits? And then what does Oakland do as a counter?
Las Vegas. I mean, they could look into the Dak Prescott situation that's going on. I would say, but that's probably like their best bet. If they are to move on to Derek Carr, because they also want to look into the Deshaun Watson. I mean, I feel like every team, if you're smart enough, you probably try to look into Deshaun Watson. So, but I mean, yeah, I could see maybe the Las Vegas Raiders looking into Dak.
Well, yeah, I think that would be really big for the Bears if they could make a move like that. I don't know who they would have to get someone from Chicago though to really beef up that team. I don't know offensive or defensively, but Henry Ruggs had a pretty good rookie season. Darren Waller is arguably a top 3 tight end in this league, replacing Zach Ertz off of a terrible year from him and an injured year. But yeah, he's up there. Darren Waller is definitely up there. So they have the weapons, and Josh Jacobs, offensive rookie of the year. So like, they have a good, solid team there that you can't just plug someone in. But obviously, if they're thinking about moving off of Derek Carr, then they have some sort of plan. I just don't work for Las Vegas Raiders, so I don't know what the plan is.
All right, so then
Mariota's the backup, right?
Yeah, but I doubt that they would go.
I don't think they're going to. I'm just asking.
Yeah.
Clear it up.
He loves Mariota, though.
He's done. He's done. They what?
They do love Mariota. Well, Gruden does.
Oh, yeah, he's a good backup. If I could have anyone as my backup, I'd have Marcus Mariota. Of all the backups in the league, I'd choose him as the backup.
What about Geno Smith?
Fitzpatrick.
Oh, not Geno Smith.
Cam Newton?
Definitely not Geno. Another Jet quarterback.
I love Cam Newton.
All right. So that leaves a few more teams. You know I have to save my JETS for last. So the Philadelphia Eagles. We had
the Giants in there.
We see that.
They're not in there, so
we're going
to keep going. He listed the teams already, and he didn't say any team that started with a G. So,
all right. So we did say the Philadelphia Eagles. We just saw Nick Sirianni give a quite inspiring press conference as a new head coach. They're gonna, from what I understood, it appears like they're gonna play smart. They're gonna play smart, but also complicated, but not complicated for them to understand. Complicated for the defense to understand.
They'll dumb it down, but it'll also be very smart. But it'd be dumb for them, but smart for other people.
But by doing so, they'll be playing smart football. That's what we got. All right. Anyway, so I guess their first smart decision is going to be what they do at quarterback. So what do you guys think that they should do? I don't know. I mean, for me, if it's like, I say, I don't think you got a big enough sample size from Jalen Hurts.
Okay.
But at the same time, if that team is not good enough to win as constructed. So moving Wentz's contract allows you to get better elsewhere. So it's definitely something you have to consider. So if I was in like the position of like the GM to be not like picking like X's and O's who's better, but the GM, I would say if you can move Wentz and get something back for him and then try to build the rest of that roster, that's what I would do.
I think what you did see from Jalen Hurts wasn't terrible. And I think moving on from I think Carson Wentz is not right up there with Deshaun Watson, but I think among the rest he's up there because there's still talent there. Obviously, we see if that situation is not working out, I'm sure there's a lot of coaches, a lot of new coaches who feel like they can take Carson Wentz and plug him in and use him, to help that football team win, whichever team it would be. So. I think that's the best move. I think go get what you can for Carson Wentz, up the price and shop him as much as you can, and then just build with – because obviously he's injury prone, and we haven't seen that from Jalen Hurts. So if we keep Jalen Hurts will be steady, and Jalen Hurts will continue to grow. So it's kind of like a fresh slate for your offense. And Jalen Reagor is a good young player who also had a pretty good season too. So for a young player. I don't think he's bad. I think Jalen Reagor is pretty good.
Not named Justin Jefferson, I guess.
And they had the chance to pick between Justin Jefferson and Jalen Reagor, and they picked Jalen Reagor. Wow. I mean, I don't think they'll make that mistake with Devontae. They better not make that mistake.
Yeah. After they tanked to get him.
for real life tanked and hurt Isaiah's feelings. And I apologize.
Water under the bridge,
bro. Honestly, whatever. I'm not even gonna say it. The Bucks wouldn't be in a Super Bowl though. I'll tell you that. They almost lost to the football team.
Yeah, imagine
the Brady beaters.
Them. Absolutely.
All right, my fault.
Kill Brady every year.
But yeah, I definitely agree with you guys though. Make
a
move.
See you, Manura.
Justin Tuck and the boys. That was from 4 used to be. I wish I was older when they were winning. It's whatever though. I feel like a Jets fan for a while. Go ahead. Go ahead. You were saying about Philly.
No. You know what? I agree with y'all with Philly. Let's move on, man.
All right. New England. What do they do? Is it Jared Stidham season or? Because no one wants to go there, it seems like. So what's going on?
Yeah, they're going to have to get one in the draft, bro. Nah. Yeah, give Cam another chance. I mean, if Cam even wants to come back, if Cam doesn't end up on the Redskins, by the way. But,
the football team.
Football team. I apologize.
To who?
Football team.
Don't do it.
The viewers.
We'll take the bait.
the viewers and the people offended by that word.
Right.
But yeah, you just gonna have to find a quarterback through the draft. I feel like the Belichick way might be tarnished in the NFL at the moment until they draft their new heir to the throne.
The name they've
They
been throwing
spend
around
some
is
money.
the name they've been throwing around in the draft is Mac Jones, Alabama. Just like the typical like pocket quarterback, but I mean,
quarterback.
yeah, that's what I think as well. But I mean, I think Belichick would know better than us. So if he drafts him, then he'd probably see something. Who knows? So Houston, that whole Deshaun Watson, the whole Deshaun Watson thing. I mean, it Watson's saying he'll hold out the whole season. They're saying they're not trading him. I think at the end of the day, they're going to have to move him because you finding him all this money for every game he misses is not going to make him want to play football for your organization, which he already does not want to play for.
Watson said
So
he's going to sit out the whole season.
He said he's willing to sit out the whole season.
It's crazy.
And give up $20 million. So if he's willing to do that, I don't know. I don't know what happens in 2022. He's not coming back from that. That just ruins everything. So I mean, you got to assume that whenever that comes to be, it's going to be Zach Wilson or Justin Fields being quarterback for the Houston Texans. If they don't end up getting like the Tua or Darnold deal or whatever that is, and that leaves one team. I set it up perfectly, Isaiah. You can't even be mad. Left it on a platter.
Perfect.
How does that go? I think it goes J.
E.
T. So yes, JETS, Jets. This is the Jets.
Jets. 3
The
Jets.
Yes.
All right. I've been setting it all along. All right. Isaiah got mad last time because we were too excited about it. I'll just give you the facts. Deshaun Watson wants out. He wanted Robert Saleh.
They're not at the top of his list.
He has to
go.
Wait, isn't Robert Saleh the head coach of these New York Jets?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
We have Richard Sherman, Allen Robinson saying he should go to New York, and he's not talking about the G men. He's talking about the Jets.
The G men.
Right. Or Houston could not trade him, and he can hold out the whole season. He'll miss a year. Who cares?
All right, well, wait. I'll wait a year.
Keep waiting.
I'll see you next year, buddy.
I'm saying
you're gonna be working.
All right, the facts. Let's not get carried away. The facts. The Jets have the assets, the most assets, I should add, to go get him if they want to get him. Therefore, if Joe Douglas decides Deshaun Watson is the future quarterback of the New York Jets, Deshaun Watson will be the future quarterback of the New York Jets. We're talking what? 2 or 3 first-round picks? We have those.
Right.
Thank you, Jamal Adams. First of all, I want to talk about Jamal Adams because he gave that Instagram live and he was saying nonsense, but I'll leave it alone.
Wait, what Instagram live?
He told a story.
Don't leave it alone.
No, here we go. He told a story about, he said, you know what was the final straw for me? I walked outside my house and I lived next to this family. I lived next to an elementary school, and a 13-year-old girl walks up to me and she goes, I never knew you played for the Jets. I feel bad for you. And he said, that was embarrassing. And everyone in the comments was like, if you let a 13-year-old girl embarrass you to the point where you have to ask out, that's on you. And then he went on to say a thing that didn't make any sense. He said, I was on social media trying to push my way out of New York because that was the only way to get out of there. That's exactly what he said. And then he said, so Joe Douglas said, if Jamal keeps acting like this, no one's going to want to trade for him. And then he said, at that moment, once they disrespected me, that's when I asked for a trade. I said, that doesn't make any sense. You were trying to force your way out and then got mad at people that didn't like it.
I don't want you to continue on this rant anymore because I'm still a Jamal Adams fan. So just
right. I hope Jamal Adams and Deshaun Watson don't text or talk to each other at all.
I mean, Adam Gates is not there no more, so it don't matter what he says.
I don't think he brought up Adam Gates. I thought he brought up Joe Douglas. Because if I remember the interview correctly, he said, we were fine. We were chilling up until there. And he doesn't like Joe Douglas anymore. So, whatever. Listen, I hope the best for the Jets, honestly. Because it seems that when I put bad things out into the ether for the Jets, good things seem to happen to them. So, with a little reverse psychology, hopefully nothing will come good for the Jets.
You can't outsmart the universe. It'll never work. The universe can't be outsmarted.
You better hope they get Deshaun Watson.
I do hope they get Deshaun Watson.
Because, I mean, whoever they draft also could be good.
I mean,
I don't know. I think you got to talk about that other way. You can't just talk about Deshaun Watson. What if they don't get
I'm just
Deshaun
gonna
Watson?
talk only positive things into the universe. So,
all right. What about draft? Who they draft with the second round pick?
We'll cross that bridge when we get there. I'll leave it there. Deshaun Watson will be a Jet. I'm just gonna say positive things and hope that they come to fruition.
What about Jacksonville and Trevor Lawrence?
Nah.
What if they get Trevor Lawrence?
Nah, that's the end of our football segment. With Deshaun Watson being a Jet, and we'll leave it right there. That's a lot of football. Anyway, now we'll transition to our NBA portion. So if you guys stuck through this part, we appreciate you. If you skipped to this part, welcome to the Shoes Joe's podcast, soon to be a podcast heard around the world.
Where we talk about NBA and NBA only.
So we have 2 topics.
Subscribe.
Anyway, so now we'll talk about 2 topics we have lined up: the NBA All-Star vote and the rookies to this point. So we'll break it down by conference so far with the Eastern Conference and Western Conference, front court and back court. So in the front court in the West, from 1 to 10, LeBron James, Nikola Jokic, Kawhi Leonard, Anthony Davis, Paul George, Zion Williamson, Andrew Wiggins, Christian Wood, Brandon Ingram, and my boy Carmelo Anthony.
The fans.
For the guards, Stephen Curry, Luka Doncic, Damian Lillard, John Morant, Donovan Mitchell, Devin Booker, Chris Paul, C.J. McCollum, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and making a surprising appearance, Klay Thompson.
A surprising appearance.
So, what?
And on one leg,
Rodney.
Oh, by the way, Glenn Davis, you're an asshole.
Oh,
Thompson would cook you on one leg.
Big baby.
Can't chase him around.
He's also just a big baby. He doesn't.
Klay Thompson said you're gonna have the big man running in circles chasing me.
He will on one leg, probably still.
What did you guys think about the Western Conference voting?
Little fat boy, Glenn Davis, you a fat boy. You look at this, you little fat boy.
In the timestamps, it's gonna say calling out Glenn Davis, whatever minute we're at.
Fat shaming Glenn Davis.
All right. What did you guys think about the Western Conference vote? I mean, besides maybe like
the
Wiggins or Klay Thompson. No, Melo deserves it.
Carmelo Anthony.
Out of respect and name alone.
Out of the bench. Off of the bench.
God damn it. All right.
Out of the starting
So what do you
line.
guys think about the Western voting so far?
Besides number 10. I think they got it right. I think it's going to be team. LeBron will get a team, obviously, on fan vote alone. He's got 2 million votes just from the fans alone. So I will see how that weighs out. And yeah, KD could get the other team because he's the second best player in the world.
So
looking at you, Obi. Looking at you.
Why are you looking at me, man?
Because he's the second best player in the world, and that's where he'll stay.
That's your opinion.
Number 1. Can't get to
that's
number
your
1.
opinion.
It's
that's
fact.
Your opinion.
It's fact.
Your opinion.
It's fact. Yeah. And my opinion is factual.
All right.
But yeah, they got it right. I'm very excited to see. I spoke to Obi about this a little bit before the podcast, but like just Zion Williamson making his first All-Star appearance, like quietly, he's entering into stardom in this league. Mike was complaining the other day about the Pelicans getting too many games on primetime television.
I want to see it.
But people want to see Zion Williamson.
I know, but I want to see Zion Williamson as well. I don't want to see him every other day when they're under 4 games.
They got to force him to the NBA public because they know the kind of star potential he has.
Fair enough.
This is the first of many.
How many games of under 500 are the Knicks? Don't matter. You watch them all. Every game. You watch every game. Don't matter.
You're goddamn right.
Stop complaining.
Yeah, but the difference is I'm not forcing them to put garbage on national TV.
Not everyone gets MSG.
No, they don't. Yeah, and that's my point. Thank you. You're proving my point. Thank you. Thanks, Obi. All right, Eastern Conference. Kevin Durant, number 1 in the front court. Obi's boy, Giannis Antetokounmpo, number 2.
Both my boys are 1 and 2.
Joel Embiid, Jason Tatum.
You mad, Zed?
I'm not mad. I'm not upset.
Number 5, Jimmy Butler with 9 games under his belt. Bam Adebayo, number 6. 7, Domantas Sabonis. Number 8 should be number 5, where Jimmy Butler is. Julius Randle. Number
Skip
9,
everyone else.
Gordon Hayward. And number 10, Jeremy Grant.
Number 8 should be number 5.
Guards, Bradley Beal, Kyrie Irving, James Harden, Jaylen Brown, Zach LaVine.
Bradley Beal is the number 1 guard. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness.
He's getting a lot of attention this year.
Trae Young, number 6. Colin Sexton. Derrick Rose. You what? 9. Russell Westbrook. And number 10, Ben Simmons.
Wait, how are you going to say that about Derrick Rose? And when we say the same shit about Melo, you got something crazy to say.
Because Melo's better than Derrick Rose.
Okay, yeah, but you was talking about the respect factor.
Yeah, they put Derrick Rose 7. Melo was 10. He barely squeaked in. They put Derrick Rose
in the West. The West is kind of low.
Derrick Rose is all right, they put him 8.
Above Ben Simmons.
And Russell Westbrook. That is not right.
All right, you got me.
All right. So what do you guys think about the East? What's going on with the East?
I mean, I'm happy they got Zach LaVine in this year because I was a big advocate last year that Zach LaVine should have been in. Bradley Beal, number 1, deservedly so, leading scorer. You know, he was a suck, but Bradley Beal got nothing to do with that. So.
And he wants to stay. Like, I mean, obviously, I guess he doesn't want the situation to get that bad, but I think it's best for both parties if they just move on from Bradley Beal.
Oh, I got one problem with the East front court. Andre Drummond is not in that.
No.
Shut up. Andre Drummond is
Julius Randle's not number 1.
Or number 2 or number 3.
That's my only problem. Andre Drummond
You think Jimmy should be an all-star?
No.
He shouldn't be, right?
No.
I mean, he's not going to –
Jimmy Butler shouldn't be.
But based on this, he's not going to be a starter, and then the coaches decide. So he's not –
He doesn't want to – he doesn't play even when he's selected. Like, he goes to the coaches and tell them not to play him. He does that every All-Star game.
Yeah, so –
him.
I mean,
don't waste your vote, guys. Don't waste your vote.
I mean, the votes are wasted already.
To the 12 people watching, don't waste your vote.
The difference between him and fourth place Jason Tatum is like 400,000 votes. So he's not even close to runner-up to starting. So he'll be all right. And then with the guards, I guess the Derrick Rose thing. But yeah, I mean, the voting still has a long way to go. I think votes count double.
Who would you put other than Derrick Rose and then guard spot in the East? Like, do you have anybody that you think deserve? Like,
Kevin Huerter.
Emmanuel quickly.
Oh my goodness. RJ Barrett. Before RJ Barrett.
Kevin Knox, Reggie Bullock, Alec
Burks,
my
Lord.
Austin Rivers. I mean, DJ Wilson.
Allen Houston.
DJ Augustine.
The man who's about to get cut.
Augustine, maybe.
About to get cut. Drew Holiday.
Justin Holiday, sure. All right.
I don't see Chris Middleton in this. Hold on. There's some robbery going on here.
Take Jimmy out, move everybody up one, and you put Chris at the bottom.
It's simple. Move everyone else one.
Drew Holiday got to be here. Come on, man. What's going on? What's y'all doing, man?
Obviously, the voting has a long way to go. If you guys want any specific player, like Julius Randle, for example, in the All-Star game, you go on Twitter, you hashtag their name.
Guys advertising to vote for Julius Randle.
No, I'm voting to advertise for whoever you want to advertise for. But
before you go on Twitter,
you gotta follow the Shoeless Joe's podcast.
You go on Twitter, yeah, I'm saying you gotta hit Shoeless Joe's before you.
It's right here. It's if you're going on Twitter, if you're opening the app, it's right here. So do that and then go vote for your favorite NBA All-Star. Hashtag their name and then hashtag NBA All-Star. And if you want to type in Julius Randle, be my guest.
You guys think this All-Star game should be happening though?
No, I don't.
I think it's safe. I think it's safe.
I don't think it's safe.
They're still having 0 tests, I think.
Yeah, they just came out
the first time they had 0.
Breaking news from Woj, actually.
On the Shoeless Joe's podcast.
On the Shoeless Joe's podcast. NBA teams say that they've had a finalized agreement for the All-Star game in Atlanta by next week. Oh, okay. There'll be a memo that'll be finalized next week. Players will continue to test daily during the All-Star break, and no international travel will be allowed, per memo.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's I don't know. I don't know how they're going to get it done. Should it be happening? I don't know. My last name's not Fauci. I'm not sure of what should be going on. You know, I'm not a doctor. I don't have my doctorates. But I'll tell you this. I want to see an All-Star game. And I didn't have fun watching 8 grown men play Madden NFL 21. It wasn't a good time. It wasn't a good time at all. There was no Hawaii. There was no Pro Bowl. There was no actual action.
They wasn't playing dodgeball.
Dude, Keyshawn Johnson doesn't even know how to play the game. He's trash.
Bro, he was clicking L1, throwing the football back during kick returns.
And his morning show with Jay Will and Zubin sucks. Go ahead. Sorry.
It doesn't.
You're just a hater. It's bad. They're annoying.
No Jay Will.
No Jay Will.
No Jay Will at all.
X-nay on the Jay Will.
What was I gonna say?
Net fan.
Well, I mean, yeah. So that there goes that.
And
I think they're playing with fire by doing the All-Star game, because if something goes left, then everyone brings it back to their respective city. I don't know if it's the move. But I mean, if they can get it done safely, they should get it done safely. And then the last subject, we're just gonna touch upon the rookies. So we just figured we just go to the NBA.com rookie ladder and just go through there and see what we think. And I mean, if we have any other names, we could throw them out there. But in this week's rankings, moving to number 1, LaMelo Ball, Charlotte Hornets.
The
number
best
2,
ball, bro.
Tyrese. They said the jump shot wouldn't translate.
Tyrese.
Halliburton, who's been playing great basketball for the Sacramento Kings. Number 3, James Wiseman, Golden State, had himself a couple of good games this week. Number 4,
he's hurt though now
and benched. He's hurt, or they benched him.
No, I think he's hurt.
He's out for like a week and a half.
Oh, okay. 4, the Ant-Man, Anthony Edwards. Number 5, Emmanuel Quickly. Number 5. Number 6, Cole Anthony.
Float game.
Number 7, Isaac Okoro. Number 8, Precious Achua. Number 9, Desmond Bain. And number 10, Isaiah Stewart. What do you guys think about those rankings? You know how I feel already, and my critique and what it will be.
If Emmanuel Quickly could be number 1.
He should be.
And then take everyone, move them down,
take
Emmanuel Quickly and move him to number 1.
What you do is you place Quickly on top, and then you re-rank from the bottom going up. That's what you're supposed to do. It's something about those Kentucky guards, man. I don't know what it is. But.
Oh, man. Wait, is Maxey on it too? He said Maxey. No. Maxey was on it.
They probably have it all right. No, they forgot about Killian Hayes though. You know what?
They didn't forget. They remembered. They remembered to leave him off the list.
Oh, they remembered. Oh,
they did not forget.
The same way I remember not to order his jersey on DHgate. Shout out DHgate, our sponsor. Thank you.
Shout out DHgate.
Thank you for this Obi Toppin jersey. It's turned backwards because the New York is in the middle of the jersey, not the top. Thanks. I appreciate it.
Anyhow. So, but Anthony Edwards is really Anthony Edwards is a lot nicer than we thought he would be. What was that, bro? He had a dunk the other day.
Talking about the rapper?
Just really, yeah. I'm talking about the rapper / football player / also NBA player. But yeah, he's nice. He's scoring a lot, which I didn't think. I thought obviously he could do, but this well into the game, I think it's like a recent trend where like rookies are just a lot nicer in basketball than they have been in the past. Like I haven't really seen any flops, and if there are any flops, guys taking it like 25, like Emmanuel Quickly will like shoot up and like shine over. So every draft is a good draft. Every draft is a good draft.
Any thoughts, Obi? On the rookie ladder or the lack of higher rankings for Emmanuel Quickly?
No, but I mean, I'm just happy LaMelo's getting his start. You know, I've been complaining about that for weeks, but I feel bad for Terry Rozier. You know, heal up, rest up, and hopefully you're traded by the time you're ready. You're ready to go.
He's not.
Well, actually, I don't want him traded. I want the other trash.
Devontae.
Yeah,
Graham.
Mr. Graham. It's funny because LaMelo Ball's not the only point guard on this list who should be starting for their respective team. Shout out to Knicks fan. Shout out to Knicks fan 63 on Twitter. Knicks fan 63. Shout out Alfred Payton. We caught you. We got you in 4K.
Gotta be quicker than that.
Very clearly, we see you, and you got to work on that work schedule, buddy. You can't be working all day. They're not paying you enough So if you guys haven't known, Alfred Payton's a burner or alleged burner has been found. So go out there and follow at Choose Yours Podcast. But also while you're there, follow at KnicksFan63 for all the latest tweets from Alfred Payton.
Great content.
Quality content. And get in the comments. Let them know how you feel about Alfred Payton. But on that note, start a manual quick. And thank you. Oh, he does suck. But thank you for watching the Choose Yours Podcast. Soon to be the podcast heard around the world. We hope you enjoy the Super Bowl. We hope you enjoy it safely. And don't forget.
Social distancing, y'all.
We told you your assignment for this week. Y'all got to come back with your favorite commercial and put it in the comments down below.
Yes.
And make sure you look out for that poll, man.
Yes. Polls coming to all the social media platforms, just so you guys know what you want to hear, know what you guys like, what you don't like. We appreciate the interaction. Is there anything else you guys need to plug before we get out of here?
No, big commercials coming. Doritos, Pepsi, always guys who are always in there. State Farm just said they're bringing a new talent besides Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes. Who will it be? Is it another quarterback? Who's it going to be?
Little baby.
Jake from State Farm.
A halftime show, The Weeknd. I'm excited for that one. He's
So
about
is
to go
Brandon.
Crazy.
So it's Brandon, who doesn't know when it is.
You know,
Brandon knows. Bro. Brandon, what is wrong with you, bro? Brandon's like we're like the Super Bowl Sunday. Wait, the same day as the Weeknd concert? This guy, bro.
Concert. You know that The Weeknd put $7 million into his
own money,
of his own bread into this. This is gonna be interesting. So I'm
zero people to be there and see. He won't fill up the Raymond James Stadium. Go ahead.
I'm excited for his game. I'm excited for the wings. I'm excited for the halftime show. I'm excited for the commercials. It's gonna be a good day. All right.
Patrick Mahomes.
Not Kerwin's homemade wine.
No wine and wings with Kerwin.
That could be a segment on the Shoes Jones podcast one day. All right. But on that note, we appreciate you guys listening. Enjoy the Super Bowl, like we said.
Yes,
everyone, be safe, be smart, be smart. And we'll catch y'all next week.
Feet apart.
Peace.